What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another stream. Doing a giveaway today. Get to get the chat going. We are here in Dallas, Fort Worth. We're going to be heading over to Phoenix for newcomers that are just joining the stream, just joining for the first time. Appreciate you joining. You could go ahead and do me a favor and hit that like button and that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, so that way you know whenever we're getting ready to go live again. So we've got a good one today. We're going to be going from Phoenix, or going from Dallas Fort Worth over to Phoenix. So in the Cessna Longitude. So just getting a couple things finished up here, getting our flight plan all figured up here, where we're going to be heading, and our departure and our arrivals out of here. So bear with me for just a second and we will get things going. So how's everybody doing today? Good. What we like to hear. How you doing, Louis? Louis Garcia. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Appreciate you joining. Alright, so just looks like we're going to be heading from Dallas over to Phoenix. We're going to be doing the Worth 9 departure, and then we'll be doing the arrival, and we'll be doing the, looks like the Ping 1 arrival into Phoenix area. So the 25 right. So we've got all our flight plan all set up and ready to go. So it is pretty bright outside for 9 p.m. in Dallas. What's going on, Jason? Appreciate you joining. We changed the time because it's no fun to fly at dark on a stream. Whenever you're streaming, who wants to see just a black hole on a screen? So we did be able to switch it up, and I did get a new camera added, so we'll switch over to that one and get things going here. So alright, there we go. So we've got everything all ready to go, so we'll go ahead and get in the airplane, and we'll get our little checklist here that will get pulled out and get things going. So first things first, we'll go ahead and turn on our batteries, get the airplane loaded up, and we're going to switch on over to this one and let you guys see how we get everything programmed up, and then we'll switch back to our other cameras. So, alright, so let's go ahead and make sure that we got our fuel and our weight and balance here pulled up. Since it's an Osobo plane, we can do it right straight from here. And Jason would hate this, but we're not figuring out a flight or sim brief or anything like that. We know that we need 20,000 or 12,000 pounds will be plenty of fuel. So we'll just go with that. We don't get down to right to the exact amount, so we'll go with 12,000 pounds of fuel. Sounds good, Jason? You love that. So, alright, so landing gear is down, and standby switch, test and hold for 3 seconds. And there's our green light. And battery, both is on. And ECAS check, we're good there. Battery is discharging. Emergency light switch, we're good. So we'll go ahead and flip on our APU. And we're watching right here for our RPMs. RPMs right here are rising. We're at 37%. We're waiting for that to come on up. Alright. And emergency light switch, which is above here. We can go ahead and flip that to the arm position. Go ahead and get our exterior lights. We'll go ahead and get our taxi on, and we'll get our Anti-collision lights on, passenger safety, and their seatbelt signs are all on. And that looks good. Cockpit inspection, we're good. And then MFD split synoptics, we're good there. APU is on. And verified batteries are good. And we're all good there. And so we'll go ahead and hit our standby power. Flip that on. And we'll go ahead and get our flight plan all set up here. So KDFW. And going over to Phoenix, KPHX, or PHX. We do have a scenery for Phoenix. That is the scenery that I'm not exactly sure who made it. We'll have to find that out and get that all figured out and let you know that. So our departure, I'm going to be doing the Worth 9. Worth 9 transition with the CNX. And we're going to be departing. What's the weather like here, Dallas? Probably 17 right. Yeah, we'll depart 17 right, which is just right out in front of us. We'll go ahead and load that and our procedures, and we'll go ahead and load our arrival in. And our arrival is going to be a ping 1, the driver transition, and we'll be setting up for 25 right. Go ahead and load that in. Alright, so we've got all that put in there. So let's go ahead and go back. Let's go to our performance. And let's go to our takeoff data. We're going to be departing 17 right. Weather, we'll go ahead and load the METAR. We'll use the RAT temperature outside. Runway, we've got 14,000 feet, which is plenty. Takeoff, we're going to be doing flaps 1, which is good. And that all looks good. And we'll do our weight and balance. Crew and storage, we've got 400 pounds of crew, and we've got 2 passengers on board. Takeoff, we're going to go ahead and hit fob sync to sync up our landing, so that's all good. Weight and balance has been figured up. And takeoff data, we'll go ahead and accept those takeoffs. So V1's 122, rotate at 123, and 137 is our continue on out and climb out. So that's all good. Accepted all that. Go ahead and get our trims all set up here. Make sure we're within the green arc. And we're within the green arc. V-bugs are takeoff. We've got all those are on. Alright. And there we go. Got our flaps are set to 1, and we are ready to go. So all that is all set up. And altimeters, let's go ahead and grab the weather. And altimeters are 2985. There we go, set once. 2985. Alright, we've got all that set up. Trims are all set. And we don't have to get to ATC clearance. We're not going to do ATC clearance today. We're just going to be flying over there on our own free will and push back. We are not going to use that. We're just going to get our engines going. So now it's time for engine start. Go ahead and start the left one. So alright. And left engine start is good. Go ahead and start the right engine. And our ignition is going. Our oil pressure is good. And 1 is rising. Oil pressure is rising, oil temperature is rising, everything's good. N2 is rising. ITT is rising, so we know we got getting fuel flow. Alright. Everything looks good. Alright. So that looks good. Engine's on. And PCAS check. And looks like it says parking brake is on, no takeoff. There we go. Flight controls, let's go ahead and check that. Left side up, right side down, right side up, left side down, and elevator as well. Alright, flight controls are free and correct. Speed brake is full up or stowed. Flaps are set for takeoff. Altimeter is set to 985. Double check that. Altitude select. And we're going to be going all the way up to, what do we file for? Or what did we say we were going to? What do we plan? Looks like we're going to be going all the way up to flight level 360. So go ahead and put that in there. We'll be cleared all the way on up. And our heading for departure is going to be runway 17 right, so we'll set that in. And right there's 170. Alright, that all looks good. And we are on FMS for our speed, so that looks good. And we'll go ahead and turn on our flight directors. Passenger lights is on, transponder, we're set, good there. And let's go ahead and taxi. Alright, release parking brake. We'll make sure we take out everything over here, take out the part over here. Should have probably turned the other way. Oh well. Alright. We are on our way, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's make sure we get correct taxi here. So we're just going to go right out here to Lima to Echo Foxtrot. And we'll just sneak in right between these lights here. Alright. Switching over the webcam and got a little crazy on that taxi there. Jason would love that. Alright, Louie, Jason, you guys ready? Alright. We'll come to a complete stop here. We're going to pull the parking brake. We're going to pull out our checklist, make sure that we got everything on there. Alright, before takeoff, comms, we're good there. Flaps are set for takeoff. Verify, yep, we are one. Speed brakes are retracted. Trims are set for takeoff. We are within the green arc. And trims. Ice protection we don't need. Speed selector is verified is on FMS. Verify we've got takeoff. We do have takeoff on our speed selector, FMA for autopilot. V speeds verified is displayed. Yep. Nav source we are on FMS. MFD synoptic pre-flight. We're good there. MFD we're good. Landing lights are coming on. Landing lights are on. Transponder is on alt and yep, we're good there. Takeoff. Alright. We are ready for takeoff. Alright, here we go. Final looks clear as well. Alright, you guys ready? Alright, here we go. Takeoff power is set. There's 90. And rotate. Positive rate, tap the brakes, gear coming up. Turn on our autopilot. Into nav mode. Vertical VNav. Go to flight level change. And we'll start our turn out. Go ahead and turn on our auto throttles. Auto throttles are on. Pull back to climb power. Flaps are coming up. And flaps are up and indicating. Alright. Great look of Dallas out there. Clouds look pretty crazy to be flying into, but we're gonna give it a go. What do you guys say? Alright, let's go back to our checklist and our climb out. Flaps are up, verified is up, it is up, landing gear is up, taxi lights coming off, and APU off. Go ahead and turn our APU off. APU off, throttles is verified is in the climb detent, it is. Ice protection we don't need. Right now our outside temperature is 12 degrees Celsius, which is fine, so we don't need any ice just yet. We'll just keep an eye on that pressurization. We are pressurizing just fine. Cabin altitude is 650 feet with a PSI of 3.9, so we're good there. So coming through 10,000 feet, we'll go ahead and turn off our landing lights, get ready to go IMC, and altimeters on transponder, or set to standard whenever we get through flight level 180. So now we just want to kind of pay attention, make sure we're paying attention to our instruments here. As the last thing that we want is to get disoriented here in the clouds. Oh, no one even told me. Gotta put in our stuff for where we're heading on our. Let you guys know where we're going. Go on the overlay, so guys, no one let me know about that. Where's everybody at? All right, look at those nice, beautiful clouds. So we are on our way on the Worth 9 departure out of Dallas-Fort Worth. Alright, well, we are well on our way. I think it's time now that we can go ahead and get some music turned on for us. So, look down there at Dallas, Fort Worth, as we're heading out. Alright, we're well on our way. Coming out through 23,000. Go ahead and just hit our standard. We're a little late on that. We're messing around with the stream and didn't hit the button here. Alright, well, I was going to tell you guys a little bit about the giveaway, but it doesn't look like we've got too many people even on, so we'll go ahead and scratch that. Maybe if we get some more people on, we'll do the giveaway maybe a little later, so looks like got nobody watching. Alright, well, maybe some people will join here in a little while. And sorry about that. Alright, well, we're off heading from Dallas-Fort Worth over to Phoenix and just enjoying the views from outside here, climbing up to 36,000 feet. We are at 36,000 feet. Got a nice little line of thunderstorms out in front of us. Looks like the tops are about 40,000, so might see a little bit of precip. Go ahead and get our wing and our stab turned on. Pitot is normal, so all that looks good. So ready for some ice, just in case we encounter that, since we are in the clouds, visible moisture. So it's not going to be all the way. It'll probably be for about, it's like about 13, 14 minutes, maybe 15 minutes probably. So oh man, so well, happy Mother's Day out to all the mothers that are out there today. Always nice to have them celebrated. They deserve it. Alright, well, we're well on our way. Yeah, we're going right through the heart of that storm now. A little bit of light precip when you're up this high, so should be pretty clear once we get on the backside. go ahead and look at Phoenix. Take a look at what they're calling for as far as weather. Oh yeah, nice VFR, maybe few at 13,000, so it should be a pretty clear day. This stream we're going to be just doing the no ATC once we get to Phoenix. We do have pilot edge, so depending on what time it is at night, we might do another stream, be streaming for a little while. For me to do the giveaway, we're going to have to get more people that are in the actual chat. Going to be giving away some free money, but it doesn't look like anybody's wanting to join, so which is all right, no big deal. Oh man. So does everybody got big plans for this weekend? No? Really? For Mother's Day you don't have big plans? Well, tomorrow I am going to my little niece's softball game. She's 10 years old, never had much interest into playing softball or anything like that, but she says she wants to now, so she joined a team and she has her first tournament tomorrow, so we are going to go take a look and see that and watch that, and that'll be fun. So alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to be looking down here over here at our FMS, and we're going to go ahead and get the camera switched over for you guys. Alright, so we're going to go on down here to our FMS down here. We're going to go ahead and check our arrival and make sure we get everything programmed in like we need to, and make sure that we have all of our points correct. So our first one's going to be bunker at, it says between, I like to go at the lowest altitude, which is going to be 25,000 or flight level 250, so we'll go ahead and put that in there, 250, hit enter, and we'll go ahead and take this, I'll bring that down here for you guys. You guys can follow along. Since we're going to do that, we can go ahead and get her switched back around. There we go. Alright, so going to be at flight level 250, so we'll go ahead and hit enter. And at 280 knots, and that's what we got. So the next one is hybrid, and we need to be at flight level 220. So we'll go to hybrid at 220, hit enter, and hit enter again. Scroll on down. The next one is going to be ping, not below 17,000. That's a hard altitude. Not below 17 at 270. We've got that. Alright. And then our next one after ping is going to be birdie, and that's 13,250. Yep. And then our next one is par. And par we need to be at 10,000. You can hit enter. And we've got that. It says stab de-ice. We're good there. So just be flying just on the, just some moderate precip, which everything looks good. Just looking outside. Alright. So we've got that all in. A 10,000, we're good there. And then our next one is Pucker. We'll go with Pucker. And Pucker, we need to be at 8,000. And then we need to be at FNAP at 5,000. Go, we've got that put in there. Alright. Hey, trying to figure out where my G1000 pop-outs went. Uh-oh. Where'd they go, CD? I have no idea where they went. Can't find them anywhere. Alright, trying to get this chat window here, messing around with it real quick. Trying to get that to where you guys can actually see. There we go. That's what you're doing this weekend. Oh, there you go. So are you using Windows Pop-Out Manager? Is that what you're using, or what are you trying to use to pop them out? What do you mean, where did they go? If you hold down right Alt, sometimes they'll go down to the bottom of your screen, the bottom left, and they'll be minimized down there. But you can also, I believe, let's check it real quick, but I believe you can go in here, hit Settings, and you can hit Reset Panels, and that'll reset all the pop-outs sometimes. You might try that, CD, see if that helps you out. Alright, so we are heading back to our arrival. Got all that put in there, 5,000 and 4,000 at ZMX, and ZMX 4,000. Yep. Alright, so we've got all that put in there, and we'll go ahead and hit our approach. We know we're going to be doing the 25 right, RNAV 25 right Yankee. That'll work for me. LPV, we'll go ahead and hit. Go ahead and double check what that will look like as far as our approach, and we'll be using RNAV Yankee 25 right, and we'll just go ahead and do vectors to final. I like that, and we'll hit vectors on here as well, and we'll just hit load that. So there we go. Back to flight plan. Get that pulled up. All right. All right. Yeah, no problem. I hope that works for you, CD. Let me know if it doesn't, and we can investigate a little further for you. So, hopefully that works. What are you flying with the G1000? And I've got to tell you guys, I have this, so I have one of those Gamer 2 butt kickers, and man, it adds some realism to the flights, that's for sure. It's a lot of fun doing that, using that thing. They worked great for about 2 weeks, popping out straight to WiMAXes when I popped them out, but suddenly stopped. I've spent hours with a couple of people on Zoom that helped set it all up, even uninstalled and reinstalled MSFS. Yeah, I think the windows are just getting stuck somewhere. Sometimes you can go down to your Windows bar and you can hover over the Microsoft Flight Simulator and the actual icon in the system tray at the bottom, and whenever it pops it up and whenever you're hovering, it pulls a little screen up above it. If you'll put that, go over and hover over top of that and click on it, hold down right Alt and click on it, and sometimes that'll reset the settings, reset your windows. So I think you've just gotten your Windows set up somewhere to where maybe you had your WiMAXes and they were all set up, and then now the windows, you've maybe moved them around and you had a pop out on there, and now they're just getting stuck there somewhere. So it's not going to be an MSFS issue that you're having that problem with. I would think that the little going up here to the tray up here and hitting reset panels, that should help you with that. That should fix your issue with your pop outs. Also, you might try using Windows Pop Out Manager. Sometimes that will help. So, just some food for thought there. Cruising along, should be coming out of the clouds here in just a little bit. Should start clearing up. We're on the backside of that storm now, so shouldn't have too many issues with that. Yeah, we're at -53, so I think that's a little too cold for ice to hop onto to stick to our airplane. So we'll go ahead and turn off our icing. Once precipitation gets so cold, it basically crystallizes and it's not moist enough to be able to stick to an airplane, so it just bounces off. My 8-year-old son's rig. He flies all kinds of stuff. Cessna 172 for the G1000. Hey, absolutely, no problem. Yeah, let me know if that doesn't work, and I'll be more than happy to help you if we can't get it going. So, let me know if you have any troubles with it. Thanks for stopping by, CD. Big shout out to CD. He's been lighting up the chat, so appreciate that. CD, are you in our Discord with SIMSTRUMETATION? Or where did you hear about the chat? Or where did you hear about the stream? Trying to figure out, I posted it on stream on MSFS forums, I posted it on Discord, in the Microsoft Flight Simulator Discord, and I also posted it in the SIMSTRUMETATION Discord. So obviously if you're popping out panels for the G1000 and stuff like that, I would say it probably came from SIMSTRUMETATION Discord. He is, and everyone there is awesome. Well, good. Well, I appreciate you stopping by in Discord. My name's Dustin. I do all the graphic design for SIMSTRUMETATION. But these panels were not done by us. These panels were done by Sling from Experimental Sim Avionics, which he's in our Discord as well. He has his own Discord. The link should be in the description for his panels that he has there. So if you're interested in flying the Longitude, we were going to do the Longitude, but since Sling was doing his for this Experimental Sim Avionics, we decided not to do it. And I will just support him. So we are on our way to LBB BOR, and after that we will have a nice little jog over to CNX Corona BOR. This is the Lubbock BOR is where we're heading now. And after we get through that, that should be all that we need to worry about. So let's go ahead and we're going to go direct driver. We're going to get out of here and get there a little bit faster. And we're going to hit direct and activate direct driver. And we should be turning out to the right now that we're past these storms. And that should cut some time off and get us there a little bit sooner. What do you guys say? Alright, what we like to hear. Glad you guys are on board. So it looks like we got just a little less than an hour for our top of descent. So the reset that didn't work, the hover over the icon in the taskbar and click what again? So whenever you're in the taskbar down at the bottom, hover over top of the icon of Microsoft Flight Simulator to where the little mini window pops up above it. And then once it does that, go up to it and hold down right Alt or Alt and then click the mouse button, the left click the mouse button on that screen, on that little window that pops up. See if that does it. And have you tried maybe a different airplane instead of the Cessna 172? Maybe try something like the Bonanza A36 or something other than maybe the Cessna 172. See if that helps. And are you using right Alt to pop them out, or what are you? How are you popping the windows out? Are you using the pop-out manager, or are you using? If that's the case, is what you might try doing is using downloading the pop-out manager, installing it, getting that up and running, and then once you get that up and running and it pops them out, then you can go into, and here I can show you on this screen here. It'll pop it up like this. This is the Microsoft pop-out manager, and whenever you have this, then you can go in here and you can change these X positions because of where the screen lies and sets, and then you can hit unlock panels, you click yes, and then you can go in here and you can put 000, and then it'll literally put it right up here in your top left of your corner, and then you can move it around wherever you want. So if that doesn't work, that would be the next thing to try. If the hovering over, I've only gotten that happen where I had to use that once, and I think that took me a while messing around and clicking around to find the right spot, because I can't exactly remember where the right spot is that you have to click. Remember, for the giveaway, you're going to have to put something up in chat if you are watching. So if you want to be part of putting your name in for the hat for the giveaway for the free money, post something in the chat. Say hello. Forgot how much of a long haul this flight is from DFW all the way over to Phoenix. It's a nice little jog. Yeah, other plane pop-outs work, like the A320. It's seemingly just the G1000. I think it's because it's the only one that I was able to set up automatically and go to the bevels. I haven't done pop-out manager yet. Gotcha. Yeah, I would suggest, even if you're just using 2, it's nice because pop-out manager, literally all you do is you just, once you set it up, you literally hit, sometimes you can set it up for automatic, but it's a very nice handy tool, especially whenever you get into flying airplanes that have like this G3000 where it's touchscreen. Microsoft hasn't natively, even whenever you pop it out, like let's say this right here is all obviously touch, right? So whenever you pop it out, you can still click in it with a mouse, but if you move it to a touch screen, it loses the touch capabilities. You still have to bring your mouse, drag it down, and move it. So with the MSFS pop-out manager by Hawkeye, he made it to where whenever it pops it out, you can hit the little touch enabled button, which is right here. You just put a little check mark on whichever ones you want to be touch enabled. So obviously I have this one to be touch enabled, that's on my screen, and this one is touch enabled, this one is touch enabled. So I have 3 touch enabled ones, to where whenever I pop those windows out, now I can actually use the touch function on the actual touch screen. So but yeah, it's just for your case, CDE, basically it's getting the G1000 is stuck on a screen that's been moved inside of your Windows display, inside your Windows display part. So go to your display settings, and then obviously you can see kind of mine, but it's gotten stuck like over here in one of these or something else over off to the side that where a screen is not at. So you might maybe hit return to desk or default settings or something like that of your screens, and maybe resetting it back to default inside of there with all your screens hooked up. Maybe it'll pull it up on one of them, and then you can kind of rearrange and put it, or X out of it. And then once you X out of it, then you might be able to move your screens back around, and then you might be able to pop it back out. So just an idea. Flying right through this layer of clouds here. Clouds over there, you can actually kind of see it on the radar. Hey, what a view. Thanks, Jeremy Jones. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Alright, that is, can anybody guess what town that is? It is just down to our right. I'll give you a hint. It is somewhere inside of Texas still. We're still in Texas, believe it or not. Almost out of Texas, but we're still in Texas. It's on the border of New Mexico and Texas. Anybody know? Alright, I'll give it to you. It's Seminole, Texas. Everybody know where that's at? Yeah, I didn't either. I wouldn't. So, no worries. Never heard of it. Radiator Springs. That was close, Jeremy. Radiator Springs is a very, very solid guess. Solid guess, Jeremy Jones. Never heard of it? Yeah. Looking at the map, I would say it's extremely small. Very small. So, looks like we will be possibly flying right next to Albuquerque. Albuquerque will be off to our right. We'll be able to see that as we fly over, as long as there's no clouds or anything like that. Never heard of it. Love that. CD, are you having any luck of getting your screens to pop out again and being able to find where it's located? Good thing I put in plenty of fuel for this thing. We still got 9,000 pounds of fuel, so we started out with 13, so we've only technically burned about 3,400 pounds of fuel. So we do have a slight headwind, 12 knots. Still getting about 466 knots across the ground, 475 knots true. So we are cruising along pretty swiftly. Didn't want to go too much higher because as we climbed, this was about. Well, now it's saying we should have a tailwind, so it should be shifting something soon. So. Right now we're burning about 2,280 pounds of fuel. So we'll just call it 2,400. Pilot looking down. Sir, can you tell me what these buttons do? Plain sight, Captain. They keep your shirt closed. That's pretty good. Now when I pop them out, I can see a brief flash in the upper left corner of the screen. It's like a glitch. Let's think about this. So it's glitching. Is it, and you said, if I remember right, you did say if you go like in the A320 and pop that screen out, it works just fine, correct? And just so you guys know, Jeremy Jones is the king of the dad jokes. Wish you could open these curtains up, look in the back. I have to get some other. Sorry, what did you ask me? My daughter was talking to me. Oh yeah, no worries. I was just asking. It's, and I believe you already answered it, but the eighth, like if you're in the A320 and you right alt click that one pops out just fine and you can see the screen, right? It's just the G1000 that you're having issues with. Yes, that one pops out fine. Okay. So, fortunately, but yet unfortunately for your situation, since Sim Update 12, Microsoft Flight Simulator has remembered where the screen are whenever you pop them out. So if you right click this, right alt click that and pop it out, and then you close the airplane, it will remember that spot and it will keep putting it in that spot every single time you load it. Just the G1000, which is the only one we set up to actually go somewhere. Gotcha. Yeah, so it's going to, wherever you put that, it's going to remember that, and it seems like there's something, you might have to do some research on the forums to see if there's anything that somebody has tried that maybe can do that, because, I mean, the only thing that I can think of is you might be able to. So there is I think there is a way that you can go into the config file inside of the flight simulator and be able to change that, kind of like you do whenever you set up your camera view. I don't know if you know this, but you can go into your camera views, set yourself to where you spawn outside of the airplane, set up your views, and you go back into the XY axis and you can change that. So I believe you can pop those, you can change that in the config file. Where that's at, I'm not exactly sure. For the pop-out windows, I know how to set, change your spawn view whenever you spawn into the airplane for the first time. But you might ask inside CD, you might ask inside our Discord, and maybe Crunch could point you in the right direction. But the best thing I could think of would be reset panels. I would think that would work, but to know if you close it down. Because even whenever you have the, doesn't tell you where the Windows placements are. How do I reset the displays back to the original like you had suggested? You can just go up here to this toolbar up here in the top. Click on the toolbar. Here, we'll do this I will show you real quick. So go right up here to the settings toolbar. You can click on custom toolbar, and you can hit this reset panels right here. This little blue button right here. Just click on that, and that should reset your panels back to default. Alright, we got about 37 minutes till top of descent. We should have just landed at Albuquerque. And then maybe we could have flown from Albuquerque on over to Phoenix. I used to fly that route a lot whenever I flew for the virtual airlines. They had a flight that flew the A320 and the CRJ. And so I just did the flight from Phoenix, Arizona to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and just would fly back and forth because it was all about, at the time, we were doing a contest and we were seeing who could fly the most, having a hub challenge of which hub could fly the most flights. So we would just fly that because it's like an hour flight, A320, a little less than that. You could just do like 3 or 4 of them a night. But yeah, I did that, no luck. Thought you suggested basically setting back to just the one display to see if that helps. Yeah, I mean the best thing that I could tell you to do is to download this MSFS pop-out panel manager, because as soon as it pops up, it'll pop it up, and it'll there's a YouTube video whenever you download it. It shows it. It's very easy. It's super simple to install, super simple to run, and then all you do is you move your camera to like where all of your screens that you want to pop out. So you move it like this, and then all you would do is you just click start panels. Well, here I can actually do it. I'll show you how to do it. So I'll just close out of this. Watch this. And then it pops it up just like this. And then you would just hit start panel selection, and then you just go through, click which ones you want. And then once you do that, and then whenever you get done, you'll hit right alt. It tells you all the instructions right here, what to do. Hold down right control, or hold down control, and then just click in the middle like right here. Once you select the panel that you want, then all you do is hit start pop outs, and then don't move your mouse. All you do is just leave it set here. It automatically pans the camera view, and as you can see, it's starting to pop the panels out like it's doing. And it immediately puts them right into spot, and then it puts your camera back for you. And I didn't touch a single thing. It automatically did it for me, see? And it even pops this thing back up. So that would be my suggestion, is to try that. Because then you can go in and physically change where the window placement is. In here, you can literally go in there and unlock these panels, and you can change where the x-axis is, and it'll change all that stuff. So that would be my suggestion if it's stuck like that, because it's going to pull it, it's going to pop it out and then replace it wherever you want to place it. So yeah, no problem. I hope it works, man. I'm not trying to lead you down a rabbit trail here, but I know that most of the people at SIMSTRUMETATION, I know Rob uses it, I know Todd uses it, I know Crunch uses it, and I use it. So let me rephrase that. All of us use it. It's just us 4, so. Oh, just cruising along. So, Mr. Jones, how did I do on my camera setup? Did I pass the Jeremy Jones inspection? know how many songs I got on this playlist, but it's time to add some new ones to it. What do you guys think? You can't stream like Spotify or something like that, because then it tells you that you had copyright, and I don't want to get flagged for copywriting somebody else's music or anything like that. So we'll just not play songs that get us into trouble with that. They're all free from the YouTube studio. So it looks like we've got about 30 minutes. We're going to start our descent on down. Driver will need to be 36,000, but at bunker we'll need to be at 200 or flight level 250. So we'll kind of get ready for that. So let's kind of get our checklist and kind of look at our descent. We're going to look at FMS landing performance data entered and accepted. We still got 30 minutes. So there's no point doing all that, but check our speed bugs, make sure that we're good there. Optional set VREF +5 and FMS flap speed for full. And FMS arrival and our approach procedure is confirmed. Minimums are set. ILS frequencies confirmed and set. But yeah, we can go ahead and put in our minimums and get all that stuff going. So our minimums are going to be for this approach. Let's just pull up the plate. How often do you do it? Awesome. Thanks. I'll try that now. How long have you been doing flight sim, and how often do you do it? Well, I've been flight simming for since Microsoft Flight Simulator 2000 or Flight Simulator X. I did that one, and then I bought X-Plane 11 and flew on X-Plane 11, and then I bought obviously Microsoft Flight Simulator. But as far as building a home cockpit with all the screens and stuff like that, Microsoft Flight Simulator was the first that I did. I did VR whenever I flew in X-Plane, and I wanted to be able to not wear a headset. You do a stream for, try to stream or something like that for a long period of time in a VR, my eyes would get headaches and dizziness, and just didn't like the feeling of doing a long flight at over an hour in VR. So I went back to using these screens, and I have an overhead panel above me, and then I have two 22-inch screens, and I have two 15-inch Y-axis screens. So I have a total of 4 touch screens, so I can basically fly an airliner without ever having to use the mouse, as long as we have all the instruments for it. So I've been flight simming for a while. I also am a real-world pilot. I do have my private instrument rating. Almost done with my commercial. I have about 230 hours, just kind of starting the training of commercial. And so, because I need about 10 hours of instruments, simulated instrument taught, and I need 10 hours of practicing the maneuvers, and then I'll have enough hours and everything to be able to take the commercial. Now, does that mean I'll be ready? Probably not, but I will be qualified to take the commercial and hope to hopefully finish up my CFI. So my goal is in the next month and a half to finish up my entire CFI and be a flight instructor. So that's the plan. So, all right. So LPV is what we're going to be flying, and our minimums are going to be 1439, which will put us about 305 feet above the ground. So 1439. We'll just call it 1440. We'll give ourselves a spare foot, which it should be VFR, so we'll probably end up just hand flying it in and doing that. I mean, look at it outside, you can see for miles, so shouldn't be too big of an issue, but we do have that programmed in just in case we need it. So. What do you fly in real life? I have my multi-engine, so here lately I've been flying a Aztec around. My buddy owns one, so we do some timeshare and time splitting, flying his Piper Aztec around, which is a twin-engine piston turbocharged seat 6. They call them Aztec bus, because you can literally fly, put 6 people full at fuel, load it up with baggage and go. It's got a very good payload. Flies about 180 true. When you get about 10,000 feet, it'll fly 180 true easily. So that's what I've been flying. Did all my training and did my private in a Cessna 172 Skyhawk, and then I did my instrument in a Cherokee 150 or 140 with the 160 horsepower addition to it. So then I flew the in the Cherokee. We had a Garmin 430 with the GDI 275, or not a G, the extra needle. So you basically had to look at you had just a gyro down at the bottom, and then you also had to look, so you had to basically, your heading indicator was down below, so it didn't have like a G5 or anything like that. So you had to look at extra instruments whenever I did my instrument. But now they've upgraded the plane, and it's got two G5s in it. It's got a Garmin 430, and it's got an autopilot. So, but the Aztec that I fly, it's got a Aztec 55X autopilot in it with a Garmin 530 in it. So that's what we've been flying here lately. Actually, been a little while since I've flown in real life. It's been probably a little over a month. Just waiting on my buddy to find us a CFI to be able to finish up my commercial. So that's what I'm waiting on. My goal is to just be a commercial pilot where I get paid to fly airplanes. That's been the goal since I started. I work for a company that hoping buys an airplane here soon. I work with a guy named Jeremy Jones that's in the chat. He was here earlier. I don't know if he's still around, but I'm hoping that our company buys an airplane. We're talking about it. I think that they will here soon, and hopefully be able to fly that for them. So if you have any questions, also CD, while you're trying to get that MSFS pop-out manager, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out. What got me interested in flying? That's a great question. So my parents got divorced whenever I was about 9. I live here in Missouri currently. Lived here all my life, but whenever my mom and dad were from Indiana, my dad came out here to college. So long story short, we used to fly back when it was TWA with turboprop planes. We used to fly back and forth from Springfield to Indianapolis whenever I was little. And my mom took me on a couple flights, and about probably 9 or 10. And I just remember asking my mom, I'm like, you mean that those guys are the actual pilots? They actually fly this thing and they make a lot of money? She told me, yeah. And so I was like, huh, that's a pretty cool job. That sounds like fun. I love flying. And that's what kind of started it. And then one of my friends said that he was wanting to be a pilot as well. And so I went and did a discovery flight with an instructor, and that sealed it for me. I knew I wanted to do that. But whenever I graduated high school, it was back in 2001, the economy wasn't great, so you got all your ratings and paid $120,000 to basically come out and possibly get a job as a commercial pilot and make about $20,000. So I didn't see the real investment to invest that much money just to turn around and not get it back. So I didn't do that. I started a family and married with 3 kids. And about 3.5 years ago, my lovely supporting wife said, that's what you've always wanted to do. Go do it. Go make it happen. So I've started the journey of doing that, and that's what kind of got me all interested. That's the backstory on how I started flying. And ever since then, I've always loved it. Well, chat, it looks like CD is going to be the winner of our $25 Amazon gift card. So, congratulations to him. CD, if you would, send me your email, and I'll get you in touch in email, and I'll send you a $25 Amazon gift card. Thanks for joining the stream. I do appreciate it. We are trying to build awareness to the channel. This is not like the Captain Canada. He does a great job. He's super awesome, but this channel is more for the DIY home cockpit builders. We want to build home cockpits and make it feel as realistic as possible, and not have to use the mouse, and not have to pan the camera around and do all that stuff. Aussie Flight Simmer, all those guys are absolutely freaking awesome. Great YouTubers, great content. So shout out to them for paving the way for some of us that are trying to build a channel. So keep it for a payment for your help. No, man, I appreciate you joining. I'm just giving you suggestions, man. We haven't solved it yet, so I haven't really helped any. I just gave you suggestions that didn't work. So suggestions that don't work should be free. So whenever I was taking my private, I remember going into the FBO that I went to, and they had a sign in there. It was kind of a joke, but so obviously you got the 4 forces of flight that are affecting the airplane at all the times. Lift, drag, got lift, drag, weight, and thrust. And so, do I have a Discord? Not for my personal, not for plane sites. I was going to make one, haven't done it yet. But you're welcome to DM me in our Discord, or you can send me a direct message inside of the Discord. It'd be perfectly fine, and I'll give me your email, and I'll get all that set up for you for your gift card, buddy. But anyway, so back to the 4 forces of flight. So obviously, lift is what pushes you up, right? Thrust is what pushes you forward. Drag, what pulls you back, and weight is what pulls you back down to the gravity. It's what pulls you back down to the earth. So, costs money to go up, and the FAA is going to hold you back. And I can't remember the other two actually. Now that I remembered them all, and then I started to tell you the joke, and I completely forgot. So let's hope that I don't try to do stand-up comedy, because I would not be well at that. That's for sure. But I always thought it was funny that the drag, what holds you back, is the FAA. But that's kind of funny. All right, we got about 19 minutes. Yeah, I definitely need Jeremy back. He's my dad joke of pilots. He told me one the other night on the stream, and it was pretty funny. It says, and I do remember this one, but it says there's a son, and he asked his dad. He says, "Whenever I grow up, I want to be a pilot." His dad looks at him and says, "You can't do both." Also, if you ever go to an interview as a pilot, do not tell them that you are down to earth. It would not go over well. Those are all courtesy of Jeremy. Jeremy gave me those jokes. All right, 17 minutes. Got about 34 minutes back to until we're on the ground. We're landing at 25 right. Gonna go ahead and pull up our arrival. Make sure that kind of follow along with that. Show the plate. Coming up on driver here soon. That looks like we've got about 96 miles till we get to driver. Let's go ahead and sync up our heading bug. Oh, good. Yeah, somewhat here. I can switch the camera around and I can I'll take you on a little tour. What do you say? Take you a little tour of the setup. Alright. So we'll take you a little tour. So here's the main screen, obviously, that you guys look at. It's a 50-inch 4K monitor. And I've got a 22-inch Y-Maxit. I have a DIY Knobster, and then this is my track IR. And then I have a secondary 22-inch Y-Maxit. And then down below that I have my 15.6-inch Y-Maxit. And then I have another Knobster right here that controls this panel and the bottom panel. So I have one Knobster for this panel, one Knobster for this one, and one Knobster for this one. So one Knobster runs both of these. And then I have up above, I have another Y-Maxit. That is my overhead panel. And then I have another Knobster right here. So that is my overhead panel. So whenever I fly airliners, stuff like that, I have that. And then I just have a secondary screen over here. That's why it looks like one in the camera whenever I'm always looking to the right. That's where all my chat and all that other stuff is set up. So then I've got the honeycomb auto quadrant down here. And then I've got the honeycomb mounted here as well. And then I have FliGht on an iPad over here that it's running. That is mounted with a RAM mount. So that's kind of the setup. What we got going on. So that's the tour of the flight simulator. I do have one of the new AMD Ryzen 9 7900 X3D, and I have a 3080 Ti video card. Yeah, no problem. I think they're in our Discord. I think if you scroll, it's pretty far, but I think if you go into post your cockpits, I think I've posted in there before an actual still picture of my home cockpit. Scrolling back through it to see if I can find it. Yeah, it's been a little while. Yeah, there you go. There's one back on March 18th, 2023. Alright, so we can go ahead and got about 13 minutes. Yeah, so it is a huge difference. I had the AMD 5950X is what I had prior to the 7900 X3D. Whenever I bought the 7900 X3D, the 7950X 3D, that one was like another $200 whenever I was purchasing. I don't even know what the prices are now. I don't even pay attention anymore, but I wasn't going to spend the extra money just to get the upgrade one, just for the extra cores. So I probably could have used them just from trying to run OBS, running the butt kicker. I also have a butt kicker over here off to the side that rumbles, and as you add flaps, as you add that kind of stuff in, you get drag, you get turbulence, that kind of stuff. It vibrates your seat to make it feel like you're, actually feeling that as well. So it's pretty cool. So that's very helpful. It's not a necessity, but makes it feel a little bit more realistic, I guess you would say. See, my son's from a couple months ago. Yeah, let's check it out. And the i5 13th gen of 4070. How you like your 4070? I hear that a lot of people have kind of went to that. It's kind of the new thing. And what's your name on the Discord, CD? If you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind to share that. Is it CD as well? Are you Charlie Delta? If this is the one and only Charlie Delta, he is the one that cracked the Phoenix for everybody. I don't know how he did it. He's a freaking genius. But gosh dang, he's so smart. I love flying the Phoenix. But I wanted to get back to doing some GA stuff. I did, as you can tell from the channel, most of what I've done is all American Airlines flights, and flying the fly-by-wire and all that stuff. And literally, I kind of started to get burnt out a little bit on flying the Phoenix, or flying the Airbus with the fly-by-wire and all that stuff. And so, Papa Unicorn, gotcha. Alright. Papa Unicorn. Oh, there you go. Oh, very nice. Yeah. It looks good. So do you run all those screens and everything off the laptop, or do you... Oh no, you just said you have a i5 and the 4070 Ti, so... How's your performance on that with all the... with what you have on there? Because I think right now I'm getting 50 frames per second. That's what I'm currently getting up here at the sky. Whenever I get a little lower, I think it gets down to like 35, 40. Whenever I start loading it up, I have all the settings on Ultra, and I think it's pretty much the Ultra preset. I go in and turn off like ambient occlusion and stuff like that. I turn off the anthroposcopic filtering because I do it through the NVIDIA drive, the NVIDIA panel. I do it inside of there. All right, so we've got Papa Unicorn. You will get your. I'll send you a direct message and we'll get all that gift card given away. Appreciate you joining and sticking around. You've been on here all night. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the support. I was actually just talking to Crunch Them a couple weeks ago. I was like, well, what's next? What do we want to do next? What do we want to build next? And so, we just finished the Honda Jet. I did all the graphics for that. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see that, Papa Unicorn. That one was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun to build. Alright, so our arrival. It's my 8-year-old son's rig. He takes flight sim classes every day online. Oh, nice. That is awesome. Yeah, I wish I would have had this whenever I was doing my instrument. I had this nice of a setup. Because, man, it would have helped out a lot. I wouldn't have had to spend so much money going up and practicing approaches all the time and get till I got them right. Alright, so it looks like we can go all the way down to 4,000, so let's go to our altitude. We're going to put in here 4,000. Path comes where it's armed. It's not active yet because we haven't come up to our top of descent. We do have top of descent inside of our panel, or on our MFD. We do see that, and we do see that it is in 7.5 minutes. So we'll go ahead and start kind of getting our descent checklist going. FMS landing data. Let's go back to performance. Let's go to landing data, and we're going to be doing runway 25 right. Weather, let's go ahead and load the METAR. So we've got wind at 240 at 6, temperature's 32, and I always like to put in the standby, go ahead and put the altimeter, so whenever we do get to that, we don't have to go back and look it up. I'm not going to remember 2972. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. Runway, we're going to have 10,300 feet. Use ultra setting and get about 55-60 FPS. Nice. That's really good. That's really good. And you just have one TV as well, and then how many pop-outs do you usually run? Landing config, we're going to go full flaps. Anti-ice will be off. Thrusters will be stowed. Oh, that's good. Landing data, and we'll go ahead and accept that landing data. So approach is going to be 135, and our VREF is going to be 124, and we will we've got that programmed in. The speed bugs are all good, so we are all good for that, for our landing data. So that's completed. Go back to, alright, and minimums have already set. The ILS frequency we don't need. Top of descent, it is verified. Verify it is visible on the map. Oh, that was tough to say. Landing elevation, it says we're going to be at 1134. Let's check that. KPHX, I don't want to show 3D view. Show full screen. And 1135. Man, spot on, like that. And VNAV, we've got VNAV, and we select the guide slope. There we go. And it says we're getting ready to turn right. That driver. Go ahead and get back here to sync up our heading bug. VNAV is active, so we've got that going, and we'll just be waiting for our little glide path here, V path, to come down, and for the autopilot to capture that, and then we'll head on down. Looks like we've got about 3.5 minutes. Looks like we're going about 474 knots across the ground. We've got a very small headwind of a whole 1 knot, so pretty much no wind. So oh, no worries, no worries. You've been in here longer than anybody else has, so you have every right to hop in and out, so no problem whatsoever. Waiting on our top of descent. Got about 2.5 minutes. And let's check our VNav and our descent. We'll keep that pilot defined. 280. Yeah, I like that. 280. Keep it under that. And all of our other speeds look correct, so we're good there. 165 inch, he wants 2 more, and then 2 15-inch pop-outs. Yeah, I don't blame him with wanting the 65s. I had 3 15-inch 4K TVs, and I only ran them at 2K. But even whenever I got this new chip, the 7900 X3D, MSFS is not optimized to be able to run 3 screens. It's not. I mean, you're going to be stuck trying to maintain maybe 30 frames at any load. I mean, you're going to have to really turn down the settings to get it. So I'd rather have 4K, beautiful 50-inch TV and have track IR and be able to look left and right than to have the surrounding. You know, I know it's more realistic. Not knocking it. It just the performance hit that you take whenever you have 2 other TVs isn't worth the extra. Just not in my opinion, but some people it is, so I totally understand that. So alright, we've got our VPath coming active, and we will watch for the carrot to come on down, capture that path, vertical path, and take us down 3-degree glide slope, or 3-degree descent path. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it might work out great for you guys. I know if you're actually using it for training. Well, there's our V path. We're starting down, so we'll go ahead and we start our descent on into Phoenix. Yeah, I mean, for actual flight instruction, that's, you know, you need it as realistic as possible. So surrounding yourself with TVs to get the full view of looking around, just like you would in a cockpit, is not a bad thing at all. You're just gonna have to really turn down the settings for that to be, you know, stable, especially running all that with an instructor and all that stuff. So is he practicing for, is he doing that on for private, or is he doing his instrument? Which rating is he practicing for training for? You are working on by your channel. What is your goal? What type of stuff are you interested in posting? Yeah, just building the channel. So I'm just basically, this channel is just for streaming, showing people what is possible. I like to fly a bunch of different aircraft and show you the versatility of what Air Manager can do, what SIMSTRUMETATION is about. You know, this isn't for flight instruction or anything of that sort. It's just to be able to fly anything from a Bonanza all the way up to flying the Phoenix airliner and showing people what the possibility is with touchscreens, you know, and that kind of stuff. That's what the channel's built on. That's what we're posting about. So anytime we hear of a new airplane or panel set that comes out for Air Manager, something like that, I will build a panel and then I will stream it and show everybody what it's about. So that's what the channel is dedicated for, is us at SIMSTRUMETATION to build awareness, to show people what, you know, a lot of people say or know about us, but they don't know exactly what we do and how to set this up. So, you know, if you're like, for you, just having trouble tonight, let's try and figure it out. I'll stay on here and help you try and figure it out, see what we can do to replicate what your issues you're having and try to figure them out. So the goal is just to bring awareness to SIMSTRUMETATION of what we're doing, what we're building, and the possibilities that you have with a touchscreen rather than using actual physical hard switches. starting our descent on down, coming down through 29,000. We need to be at bunker at 25,000, and we need to be under 280 knots, which we are holding steady at 279 right now, so we're solid there. Alright, starting our turn from bunker down to hybrid. And we are going to meet our 25,000 feet at bunker. Continue our descent on down to 22,000. Flight level 220, if you rather. But to answer your question also, CD, is, I'll probably do some tutorials and kind of show it, if somebody wants to kind of get it up in the air, flying a airliner or something like that, or something complex airplane like this. Kind of do some tutorials, walk them through, and do that. I'm not flying it exactly like they would probably in the real world. This is a simulator, so I try to do it as best I can, closest to the real thing. That's why I use these checklists. So, because I know that you stick to a checklist when you're flying in real world. So. Yeah, the pop-outs in front of them and the Tobii eye tracking, the way I have mine set up, it works pretty good. I know that some people that, that are in our Discord that have that, I know like Crunch, which should be Crunchmeister, he uses, alright, there's 22,000, we should continue on down, vertical path, so we're catching that, to go on down to 17,000. So we'll go ahead and switch over to Barrow, since our next stop is going to be 298 or 2972. Since our next altitude is going to be our next altitude will be below the standard, which is our flight level 180 transition altitude. So comes our V path coming in. Oh, he's 8, so training for anything. Just loves it. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Have that bug so early and know that you enjoy doing that. That's pretty cool. It is awesome. I have a 16-year-old that likes to come down here, but he usually just likes to get the F-14 or some of these the pits and just do barrel rolls and loop-de-loops. He crashes a lot of it in the simulator, so I know what that's all about. So Alright, so we're coming on down. Climbing, going down through flight level 200. We do have Phoenix out in front of us. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we're almost done with the arrival. Got all that. Now let's go ahead and check out our approach plate. We'll go ahead and brief that real quick. We do have the correct plate. It is good through April 20th through May 18th. We're good there. We do have the RNAV GPS Yankee runway 25 right, Phoenix Sky Harbor. Alright, approach course is going to be 258. Running landing runway. We have 10,300 feet. And touchdown elevation is going to be 1134. And missed approach, we're going to be to climb to 5,000 direct YEXI and hold via the 260 track on the BXK Vortac. On all the radio frequencies, which we don't need since we're not flying on pilot edge. And our plate, we've got Uxcune is our final approach fix at 3,000, where we'll intercept the glide slope. We should have LPV, which will get us down to 1439 for our minimum. So, approach plate has been briefed. Alright, we'll go ahead and switch the camera over here so you guys can kind of see what the screens look like as we're coming in. Follow along. On our way to Birdie. And after Birdie, we've got Par. We'll zoom in this one here. We're closer to about 15 nautical miles. Alright, getting ready to come through 10,000. So we'll go ahead and turn on our runway lights, or our landing lights, landing lights. And we'll go ahead and turn on our APU, get that going. APU's coming alive. Altimeters are set. We're all good there. And just to recap, our go around is push the toga button on the throttle and push the throttles to take off, pull forward, pitch up to about 7.5 degrees, set flaps true and retract landing gear. And speed, got to be a minimum of our approach speed. which our approach speed is 134, and then we're going to accelerate to 180 knots and slowly pull the flaps to 0 and set the speed knob back on the FMS. What is American Virtual Airlines? That is a virtual airline. If you're ever interested in that, you basically fly only American Airlines flights. You'll fly basically like you would in the real world for an airline. So that's who I flew for. Still a part of them. Haven't been holding up my end of the bargain of flying American flights much here as of lately, but we'll get back into that. We'll probably take the Phoenix out, do one of those flights, kind of show you what American Virtual is all about. So show that around. Alright, well, we're getting close to terminal area, so we'll go ahead and get a stereo cockpit. We'll go ahead and turn off the music and start getting ready to go to work. Been flying on autopilot for quite some time, but now it's time for the pilot to do his job. There's our 10,000 catching up to beat path to bring us down to Bucker at 8,000, which is our next restriction, and our speed restriction will be 210 knots. And flap extension for this one is 230 knots. So we're just at 230, so we'll wait till we get to past Puckery and start slowing down. And there's ForeFlight letting us know that we have entered the Class Bravo airspace, but we have had prior authorization on our flight plan, so we're just going to roll with that. Alright, so coming down through 10,000, landing lights, double check are on. Seatbelt signs are on, and emergency lights are armed. Coming in and landed on 26 right, or 25 right, I mean. And you're not going to get to get a good look at downtown, but that's alright. We'll sync up our heading bug, just in case we need to swap over. Slight turn, going down to 210 knots, slowly working on it. We'll go ahead and pull some of our speed brakes out to help that. Get below that 210 knots. Go. And we're below our 230, so we'll go ahead and set flaps 1. There's our flaps coming down. Flaps 1 is set, and it is indicating correctly. Don't forget, Uxin is our final approach fix. Once we get right at Zamex, we will go ahead and put our gear down. And then once we get established on final, we'll go ahead and set our full flaps. Got 7.5 till we get to line up. We're at 198 knots. perfectly fine. Sitting through 6,800. Can't go below 5,000 for FINAP or FINIP. What is your favorite part about flying? Favorite part about flight is the views. You can never get over the views of what it's really like. I like the freedom of being up here, looking around, flying around. It never gets old. It really doesn't. See an airplane out there off our nose, coming in to land. We are using FSTL, so we might get some other traffic that is in our way since we're not using ATC like that, but I think we'll be just fine. Upper heading bug. Coming up on FINAP, got 2.5 to go. Still descending through 5,600 feet. Right at 200 knots. Once we get to FINAP, we'll start a left turn to intercept our final. Once we start our left turn, we'll go ahead and arm the approach as well. There's our turn. We'll go ahead and arm the approach. That one arm. What is your least favorite part? Oh, flying into just horrible weather. That's what sucks. Whenever you're in the soup, low visibility, bumpy as all get out, passengers don't like it. It's not the most fun. That's for sure. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not as fun. That's for sure. All right, coming up on Zamex. Ready to get lined up with our final. Alright, there's Zamex. We'll go ahead and go gear down. So gear. Alright, we've got LPV. Approach is armed, and once we capture that, set our heading bug, recenter that, coming down through 3,000. Disengage the autopilot. We're going to go full flaps. We do have auto throttles in. And here comes the flaps. Back down here. And we're going to go ahead and disconnect the auto throttles. Give them back to myself. For some reason it's not wanting to. Doesn't want to capture the glide path. This is the second time it's wanted to do this on me. But alright. And we're just gonna hand flyer on in. Here we go now. Approach, and there's our glide path. Put back our auto throttles. Just got to help it a little bit. Find the glide path, and then we should be good. So there we go. All right, speed brakes are done. 3 green, indicating we've got flaps are full. Landing lights are on, and passenger signs are green are on. Speed brakes are retracted. We're all good. Cleared for landing. Auto throttles are disconnected. And here comes somebody taking the runway. Minimums. That's always good. There's our minimums.
200. 100.
Go right over top of this guy. Throttles back to idle. And we floated way down the runway. And touchdown. Brakes, thrust reversers, and speed brakes are deployed.
No takeoff.
Alright, and come to a stop. And we'll go over here and got everybody's way. Turn off our flight directors. That was a pretty horrible landing day. I was trying to hurry up and turn off the traffic so it didn't mess with us too much as we taking off or coming into land. But what happens when you take your eyes off the runway for just a second? So alright, let's go ahead and get everything cleaned up here. Flaps are coming up. Taxi lights coming on. And runway lights are off. Taxi lights are off. Or taxi lights are on. Landing lights are on. Flaps are up. Anti-collision lights are off. And we don't have to turn on any ice protection off because we didn't use any. So, alright, let's go ahead and taxi. Get over here to... Everyone is walking away. Yep, that was what I was told. Every landing that you can reuse the plane, a good landing. Everybody, the time that you can walk away from landing, it was a great landing. So that's the motto we're going to go with for today. So we're going to head over here to the FBO. I usually go down here to the East Cargo, park there, instead of going over to Atlantic or something like that. We'll just park her on down here on Cargo for the day. Well, CD, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for sticking around on the stream. Appreciate it. Alright. Oh. Smooth landing. Yeah, it wasn't my best one. We floated a long ways. Hey, absolutely, absolutely. Let me know if that pop-out manager helps with all that. Hopefully that helps solve your problem. Give us one last joke, Jeremy. Come on, you can do it, buddy. Go, Jeremy, go. Alright, parking brake is set. Go ahead and turn off our taxi lights, passenger safety belts come off. And go ahead and stop the engines. Alright, nice protection, run stop buttons, emergency light switch can come off. And APU knob come off. All the lights are off. And batteries can come off. Alright, well, we made it back into Phoenix. Appreciate everybody joining. If you guys would, make sure that you guys go on and hit that like button and that subscribe button and the notification bell. And we do appreciate it. So we will see you guys out on the next stream. Have a good night, everybody.